Hi, friends. Thanks for watching. So I was just thinking about going outside. So it's about 3:30, and usually if I'm going to go out, I need to be like leave before like 2:30. And why is that? Because there's a lot of aggressive panhandling here, and so I grew up in New York, lived in San Francisco, Portland, even in a larger city in Montana. And while, and for the most part, walking worked. It was relatively, it was okay. And I guess perhaps the older I get and the worse the economy gets, the like walking has become like a nightmare. And, who would have thought South Dakota would be like an unpleasant place, but it is the worst place. It is the most unpleasant place I've ever lived as a pedestrian. My quality of life has like deteriorated. My sphere of just just what I used to do, even compared to you know, like before I moved here about a year ago, it's just greatly diminished. I don't go outside. I can go for days without going outside. And usually it's groups of Native First Nations people asking for money. They're like, "Hey, hey, hey," like as if I did something to them, and um, and maybe it's because of the lockdowns. I've lived where there were other Native people, known somewhat close some folks, and never has there been such this entitled uh, mentality, hatred. I mean, I've been around like Black people who hate white people or Asian people who hate white people, um, you know, maybe Latina, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I've been around a lot of different cultures and types of people who hate white people or who hate whatever demographic I'm in. But I mean, this is just like the worst of what you would hear of I don't know. So, but yesterday, it was a white guy, and he was hollering, 30 feet, 50 feet away for me to come over there. And I was walking my bike, and it was a major highway nearby. It's like, what are people thinking? So they want this crazy, scary person wants you to come and help them. I mean, this time it was a white person. This was the first white aggressive. Maybe, yeah. I mean, there was a black guy one time, but generally, dozens of times, it's First Nations people, that are from here, that probably were born into land, that probably sold their land or their family sold the land. And, I never was bought land. I never was given land. I was never given yearly funds, and um, it's just ridiculous. It's just, oh my God. But so folks are thinking you're going to a single person all alone, you're going to take out your wallet or stand there while they attack you? Like how so fortunately, so I don't go out. If somebody really needs help, like you call the police. Like what is somebody what am I gonna do? What? What? Just listen to you, and then get punished for trying to help you because that's just pretty much how it goes. So I mean, it's just so I just want to say, and the thing is, people who don't want people to relocate to Rapid City, they're going to love this message on some levels. On some levels, they're going to be offended that I say Rapid City is a horrible place to relocate to, but it's a horrible place. It's the worst place I have ever relocated to. Like lived. The food is crappy. Gotta say, pretty much. like there's just a very meager selection um, of like stuff at the grocery store, and um, I mean, although that's a minor issue, but just in terms of the culture, like, and the thing is, I think it's there's some sort of weird brainwashing that's been going on in the Native communities where they're told how great they are, how entitled they are, and man, it just feeds some very sick addiction. Like, and I mean, I've just never seen anything like it in all the places I've lived. And, granted, I don't know every Native community, but the Rapid City is like the worst. It's like, I mean, and the thing is, it's like being around your drunk parent all the time. And that is just disgusting to me. Like, I had to grow up with that. And I certainly am not here to clean up some drunk person's mess, and I know there's people who think that I'm a jerk for not going to help some drunk native, especially a native person. Oh, I should go help them, even though I don't have a car, even though I don't have resources to help that person. And the thing is, like, apparently there's a bajillion resources here for the native people, but they're not using it. There's a bajillion apparently resources for homeless people. They're not using it. So why do these folks think that they can target a solo female, who's the only person on the sidewalk? Like, what? It's just so um uh despicable. And the thing is, when you're here, if you've never been to Rapid City before, you're just an animal to these native people. You are like the deer, and they want to harvest what they can from you. I don't know if it's that they want energy, do they want attention? Certainly want money. And maybe they want your guilt, to make you feel guilty about whatever happened in history. And you know what? It's not your responsibility for what happened 300 years ago, if that is even the true history, because we're finding out a lot of history is a lie. And I know that's a horrible house. How blasphemous could I be for saying that? But oh my gosh. So, anyways, I just wanted to say, yeah, I mean, it's like, other places I've lived, I could go out past 3:30, past 4 o'clock, but it's like 3:35, and I'm like, it's probably too late for me to go outside, and it's like, it's hard for me. I don't want to go outside. I don't want to get fresh air. I don't want to be in the sun because just some BS is going to happen. Nobody else is around. And, now with this horrible globalist thing that's going on in the world, I mean, just not that there was a whole lot of backup or whatever safety before, but um, it's just not a good situation. So, and I'm waiting for the rapture. I mean, I don't know if I have it in me to move again. Um, but Rapid City, like, if you've got a lot of money and you can insulate yourself, um, maybe, uh, but I hate it. Um, and there's nice people here, but uh, it's like everything is very far spread far. You have to go a mile or two to get to a good sized store. With like somewhat reasonable prices. Your downtown is like double the price for things. And there are a couple stores, but it's just really stressful with this whole masking and social distancing nonsense. So that just makes it more stressful to be in a smaller space because everybody's all crowded and paranoid. Um, so anyway, I just wanted to share that. Rapid City is not a place I would recommend. I have no idea what is a better alternative. Um, and it seems to be fairly, um, it's not clicky, it's a bit classist, maybe. Just, it's like, uh, it seems like if you don't have, um, a certain amount of income. I mean, it's not as bad as, let's say, Missoula, Montana. Oh my gosh, what a nightmare. Um, but it does seem like uh, you, I don't know, and maybe that's just human nature. People want to be around their income level. I mean, when I've lived in other cities, it was just like we had a common interest, so we'd go to the burrito place, and if they wanted to go to a fancy restaurant, they went to a fancy restaurant. But, people kind of find like a bridge where we all could enjoy our common interest. But I don't know. So, uh, and yeah, and just from what I've observed of like churches, if you're wealthy, young family, you're in like Flynn. But if you're not wealthy, if you're poor and you're single, uh, you're like, like you're just baggage. Uh, so yeah. Anyway, that's my latest thoughts. So thank you for watching, and we'll see if anybody's saying hello. Okay. So I know that was a bit depressing, but I just wanted to say, folks, if you're, and I know like, it seems like South Dakota is on the cutting edge of liberty. No, I'm thinking that the globalists, they're faking out the freedom-minded people, and they're trying to get the freedom-minded people to move to South Dakota because Kristi Noem is faking it too. She's just doing just despicable politics. She'll say one thing, but she does another, and she does another in the sneaky way that you know hides where she's coming from. She's the 33rd free, which is a Freemasonic number, governor, I think. And I think there's also some Luciferian, gender inverted thing. I think she has more of a boy like frame. And I know that's a very popular body type for women, to look like a 12-year-old boy. And the reason why it's popular and it's featured is because Luciferians are male to female, so they'll just start taking female hormones, or be given female hormones in utero, and then they're the opposite gender, or their affect is the opposite gender, but their biology is different. And so, of course, women are going crazy trying to. Biological women are trying to look like a size 0 male, biological male, and that's just very, very difficult. It's like starvation. So anyways, South Dakota is not what it's cracked up to be. I don't know, maybe Wyoming might be a good place. I mean, maybe the Southeast. And the thing that's like a little sketchy is like crazy weather. Um, but yeah, I really don't know. But South Dakota may not be the the solution. Or at least that's what I found. And I'm open to things changing. So thanks for watching.